I was a freshman in college. It was the second semester, so I had completed my fall semester, was ready to take on the spring. We had just got back from spring break, probably a week prior. And then that's when we first, or at least that's when I first heard about COVID. And everyone was like, oh, it's in China, it's not gonna come over to the United States. And then about a few days later, the university was kicking us out of our housing on campus, and basically telling everyone that they needed to pack up everything and go home. I stayed until the last possible date because I didn't want to go back home just yet. I had got a little taste of that freedom and wasn't ready to lose it, but eventually had to pack up and leave campus. And it was pretty difficult going back home, but that was kind of how COVID started for me. I have very different political beliefs than my family does. So college is kind of what introduced me to that. And so going back home into a more conservative environment was a very difficult transition that I wasn't ready to face. Through social media is kind of how I kept up with a lot of my friends and a lot of people. It was some former strangers that I had kind of just met online that we had similar beliefs and that kind of built a friendship. But it was also a way for me to keep in contact with the students that I had met during my time on campus as well. So, and especially I was able to meet a lot of indigenous people from around the world through social media that I probably would have never met before, and learn a lot more about not only my culture, but indigenous culture as a whole and other tribes that I may not have known about. I feel like just being on social media in a time where there was just so much going on in the world, like not only the pandemic, but then also the height of the Black Lives Matter movement, that kind of just provided me with a different way of seeing things that, yes, people are struggling with COVID, but there's bigger issues. Like there's other issues going on in the world that deserve that same attention and that same fight for, not a cure, but like for something to be done. Mm-hmm. After coming out of COVID, that's definitely something that I developed, was a voice to speak up for myself, and for my beliefs and what I think is true and correct. So that's definitely something that the pandemic gave me. So I'm very grateful for that.